Good morning! It's Sunday. I'm in the Renault 5 and we're doing this again. 4 weeks ago, I had a different R5 and I broke down on the highway on my long distance trip. Renault told me later it was the inverter. I don't know what broke or what went wrong, but I just lost power, rolled out, had to be picked up and everything, and drove with a rental car home. So today we're doing this again in a different R5. We're driving 600 kilometers. I have to drive a tiny bit of a different route than usual because there's a construction zone around my home and I have to drive a different highway entry and exit. But we're driving 130. I have a Better Routeplanner working here because last time we used Google Maps from the car and the state of charge went up and down the whole time. It wasn't good. Where it wants me to go now? Neumarkt. Ooh, all right. We'll see. So, and I also noticed that this car, for whatever reason, has a higher consumption than a Renault 5 that I had a few weeks ago. Even though the other one had 19-inch tires, winter tires, and this has 18-inch tires, and these are 195, but maybe it's the rims. But my range tests weren't amazing. I have to drive, well, I originally planned to get the Ionity in 170 kilometers, but now it plans the Ionity before that. It says you can't make it. So we'll see. Last time when I did this with the other Renault 5, I remember I drove 130, then even slowed down, but then at the end I arrived with 9%. It was fine. But still, I wouldn't have made it there. I would have made it there maybe with 6% to the first charger, which is not great, 180 something kilometers. But interestingly, car shows me 93%, a Better Routeplanner says 90%, and it has connection. So maybe what I see here is not the real state of charge, and this is what a Better Routeplanner gets. I don't know. 7 degrees out there. It should get really warm today, 18 degrees later. It drizzled a bit in the beginning, but it shouldn't anymore. Everything is fine. I'm in Regensburg. I'm on a restricted road, so driving slower. I should arrive now with 14%. If this stays the same, I really go to the next one. I really do it. 66 kilometers to go. I have 122 kilometers of range. My state of charge is still not exactly what a Better Routeplanner says, and sometimes it's even the other way around. A Better Routeplanner shows a higher state of charge than I have. Consumption is 24 kilowatt hours right now. But because I'm going uphill, it was before the whole time 23.7, something like this. 9 degrees now. It still drizzled sometimes, but the road was never wet. So I arrived with 10% here. Last time I arrived with 9% and I slowed down. It's warmer today, but interesting. I should charge to 71%. Can I still see my yes, I can still go around and see my consumption here. That's good. How many kilometers did we drive? 177, and average consumption 24 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So that drive was good. It's still drizzling a tiny bit. I wouldn't say the road is wet, but it's a bit damp. But other than that, no traffic. I could drive to 130 perfectly the whole time unless there was a speed limit. There were a few construction zones, but not big. Car did well so far. It did that the last time too. It was after the second charge when I was almost at the third charge where it happened. So at 350, 380 kilometers, something like this. But at this point I would be going back already. So hopefully I'm at least not as far away from home as last time when it would happen at the same time. Charging a bit to the 71%. A Better Routeplanner overall thinks the charging is a bit slower as it actually is, because 10 to 80% is 30 minutes. That's what Renault says, and that's what I measured. But A Better Routeplanner says 36 or something minutes. I'm not charging to 80%, I just say I saw it at some point, and so we're gonna be a bit faster than what A Better Routeplanner thinks. If you want to charge for free, use Encharge. Encharge is an app, you install it on your phone, and when you are at a charger, you rate the charger. And for this and other informations about the charger, you get kilometers and stars. And these you can exchange for charging credit. And when you live in Germany or in France, you can use the app itself to start charging somewhere. Use the link in the description below to get 20 kilometers to start with. And if you want to know what's happening behind the scenes, I started vlogging on my third channel, Behind the Battery. So everything that happens around the car, or if I get new info about something, really awesome. Subscribe and watch. I charged to 71% as A Better Routeplanner says. We'll see. So far I can only see my first destination, which I put in because we're driving a circle, and then when this is happening in 8 kilometers, I know if we arrive. Well, I can see here we should arrive with 10% and charge to 78% at the Tesla Supercharger in Münchberg Nord. Arrived here with 11%. It says I should charge to 78%, but that's stupid because I saw the next charger I should arrive with 22%. I don't want to arrive with 22%, so we charge to oh no, that's wrong. I want to charge then to 70%. So the drive was okay, but I was in a traffic jam for 10-12 minutes because first I thought there was an accident or something, but no, they closed the whole highway, even on the other side. They did something on a construction zone where no cars could be driving. I don't know what they did, but we were standing there for 10-12 minutes and then it just went on. I'm here at the Tesla Supercharger. I was here before many times, and since the car can only charge with 100 kilowatt peak, I'm on the old charger. Why would I use the new ones that other people can use that can really charge with power? And I don't even know if these ones can do 250 kilowatts. So are they the same than the new ones, version 3, or are they really limited to 130 kilowatt as before? No idea. If it's not the charger itself, if it's just the trafo, wherever that is, I'm guessing right behind it, if this is just the only thing. Aha! I charged to 68%, so 10% less, and it tells me now I will arrive with 10%. Maybe even more now. Let's see, 13%, but things change around. Still, because I have 109 kilometers to go, and when I left I had 145 kilometers of range. So, come on, should be no problem, right? I drove around 300 kilometers, so I have another 50, 80, and then I'm at the level as last time when it broke down. 76 kilometers to the next charger, and I have never been there because it's a Tesla Supercharger. So I'm doing Tesla Supercharger and Ionity today for two reasons. First, this car has not a lot of range and doesn't charge very fast, so every charger I can get to make it a bit faster to get home or drive the 600 kilometers. And I did my range tests already from a Tesla Supercharger, so I bought for the month the premium whatever membership, so it's cheaper. One thing, by the way, this car doesn't do amazing. It's the volume compensation if you're standing or if you're driving 130. There's no setting. In the sound settings you have all kinds of settings, but I don't see anything that says I don't know, 1 to 5, how louder should it be when you drive faster. And so it is like you think it is. At 130 you adjust the volume so you can hear it, and then when you're standing it's way too loud. That's, I don't know, I find it a bit shameful that this doesn't exist, or it's hidden away in a way that's not nice. Third charger arrived with 11%, charging to 64%, and then it's the last charger, Tesla Supercharger in Regensburg, in 112 kilometers. And the consumption looks, what is it, very similar to what I had in my range test, and I'm driving slower today. But it's raining now. It's raining, it's wet, it's gross. Charged to 65%. We have only 104 kilometers to get to that next charger. With this car, when it doesn't charge that amazing, and it's not incredible summer, 100, 110 kilometers are your stops. That's just how it is. With my ID.7 in the winter, it's 170, 180 I would say, and in the summer it's over 200 kilometers that the distance can be, because the consumption is so low. Okay, I thought we'd talk about how the Renault 5 is now, because then after the last charging session we again only have 10 kilometers or so home, 100 kilometers home. So the comfort is okay. The seats are not amazing, but it's fine. I find it a bit noisy, which is weird because the other R5, I can't remember that it was noisy. I think I was surprised how quiet it was. Now it's raining, but in my range test I had the same feeling when it wasn't raining. It's the wind noise. Consumption is a bit high. By the way, I drove 405 kilometers, so further than with the other R5 before it broke down, but 26 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and never drove above 130 kilometers an hour at 6 to 9 degrees today. A bit of rain. Yes, the road is wet, but not, extremely wet, extreme rain. Yes, it's higher consumption, but not amazingly high. Higher consumption it should be, so that's not awesome. Arrived here with 14% and charged to 60%. Then we get all the way home, but we're gonna stop the trip before when I get off the highway, so we only get highway speeds. It was also a good drive. Traffic was perfect, so I just had this stupid one traffic jam. So for all the trip I will deduct 17 minutes because 12 minutes is the traffic jam, then 4 minutes because I took a pee break, and then 1 minute I was at a light after a charging session that just didn't switch. So 17 minutes less. And when I see the arrival time, it will be around 7 hours for the 600 something kilometers. Yeah, but let's charge a bit. The last leg, I have 52 kilometers till we get off the highway, and then we end this trip, and then another 11-12 kilometers home. Still driving my 130. I drove 550 kilometers already, and average consumption is this. Oh, it went down a bit. It doesn't rain anymore. How nice is that? Is this an L-Rock? I think that's a Skoda L-Rock. Yes, it is. Driving slow. But he's from Regensburg. He's not far away. To 50 kilometers from home. We are here at 1328 with 15%. Where are we? Almost 600 kilometers driven and average consumption 25.7. Back at home, let's analyze the data. Average consumption, car showed this. Real kilometer according to Google Maps, 606 kilometers. I drove 7 hours and 2 minutes and I deduct the 17 minutes like I said, and I get to an average speed including charging of 83.2 kilometers an hour for this car, and that it was raining. The consumption I still find a bit high. Charging was okay, and it dealt with everything okay. When we look at the charging sessions, most of the time I charged at around 10 to 11%, one times 14%, but then to 60, 65, 68 or 71. And this is exactly what you see. Average power is 78, 81 kilowatt. For a 100 kilowatt peak, this is really okay. I charged on the road 111 kilowatt hours, took 84 minutes. I didn't. It doesn't include the charging at the end back to the 96% where we started with. But the car was okay. It takes a bit longer. It's a small car with a smaller battery. Charges only with a peak of 100 kilowatt. The only thing they should improve is the consumption. It's a bit too high for what the car does. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Battery Life 1. But that's it for me. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day and take care. Bye.